Today is day 30 of our real software development skills sprint. During the day, during the previous 29 days, we learned individual skills such as terminal, Git, GitHub, React, Next.js, APIs, databases, authentication, deployment, and CI/CD. But knowing individual tools is not enough. In a real company, developers use all these tools together to take a feature from an idea to production. Today, we will build one complete feature, a course inquiry form. We will not directly open the project and start writing code. First, we'll create a GitHub issue. Then we will create a separate branch, implement the feature, test it, push it, open a pull request, review the changes, merge the pull request, deploy the application, finally test the live production URL. This is the complete life cycle of a real software feature. Our course platform currently displays courses, but interested students cannot submit an inquiry. We want to add a form with three fields: name, email, and course. When the user submits the form, empty fields should show a validation message. The frontend should send the data to an API route. The API should validate the request. A success message should appear after a valid submission. An error message should appear when the request fails. For this lesson, the API will accept and validate the inquiry. In a larger production application, we should store it in PostgreSQL, send an email or connect it with it to a CRM. So let's create a GitHub issue. Open the GitHub repository. Let's go to issues and let us use the following title. Click on the new issue. The page is loading. Let's wait for some time. Okay, and let us wait. Add the title feature as add course inquiry form. Now let us add this description. Now click create issue. The issue gives the team a clear description of what must be built. Without an issue, requirements can remain inside conversations or someone's memory. With an issue, the work becomes visible and trackable. So the issue is this: add a course inquiry form to the course page so that interested students can submit their name, email, and selected course. Add name, email, and course fields. Validate all required fields. Submit data to API inquiry. Show loading state during submission. Show success message after submission. Show error message if submission fails. Reset the form after successful submission. And these are the acceptance criteria. The form works locally. Invalid submissions are rejected. Valid submission returns a success response. The application built successfully. The feature works correctly on the production URL. The GitHub assigns it the issue number 1. We will refer to it in our branch, commits, and pull requests. The number 1. Open the project in cursor or VS Code. So it's already opened. Open the terminal and run git checkout main. Now, just let's make sure that we are having the latest main. So we will write git pull origin main. Already saying that it is already up to date. So fine, we are up to date with the repository and with the branch main. Let us move forward. Let us run git status as that is a good practice. Git status. So we can see that the branch is up to date with the origin main, and there is one untracked file. So that we will commit later. No worries. This step prevents us from starting the feature using outdated code. Now let's create a separate branch. So let's create a new branch named as git checkout -b feature / course inquiry form. Let's check the branch by writing git branch. The star should appear beside feature / course inquiry form. We are not changing main directly. The main branch should represent stable code. Our feature branch gives us a safe workspace for developing and testing the feature. We will first create the backend route. Inside the app directory, we create app/API. So new folder is API. Then a new folder is inquiry. And inside it, we will create a file named as route.txt. Now let me write the code for this file. Let us understand what this route does. The route accepts a post request. It reads the request body and extracts the name, email, and post. It rejects the request when a required value is missing. It also performs basic email validation. For a valid request, it creates an enquiry object and returns a success response with status code 201. Status code 201 means that a new resource has been created successfully. Currently, we are logging the inquiry. In a complete application, this is where we could use Prisma or Django ORM to store it in an inquiries table. Now create a component. So let's create a components folder and let's create a file named as course inquiry form.tsx. Now add the following code. This is a client component because it uses React state and event handlers. We have a state for form data, submission status, success or error message, loading state. When the form is submitted, the browser sends a post request to /API/inquiry. While the request is running, the button displays submitting. When the API returns a successful response, the form is reset and the success message is displayed. Now open the course page and for example, let's add a course page. And create a page.tsx inside that. Then we render this. So your existing page may look different to the existing course content and place the form at an appropriate location. So let's add the basic styling to global.css. Or you may adapt it to your course design. In real projects, follow the existing design system rather than adding unrelated styles. Now let me modify this page.tsx so that it uses the new course component. So earlier our page was not including this courses uh, page. No route was there for me to travel to the courses page. Now it will modify this homepage code and it will create a route to slash courses. I have run the code side by side. So let us inspect the layout in a simple browser. Let's open the localhost 3001. So this is how the website looks like now. It is still in progress, so it is making a few more changes. So let's wait till all the changes have been made. So it made changes in the 4 files. Let's inspect them one by one. In global.css, these changes have been made. So I'm accepting the change. And in courses page, the following changes have been made. So it made it more modular, better than previous. So again, I'm accepting this. And in the course inquiry form, some classes have been added to make it more so that it looks better. So again, I'm accepting the changes. And in the home page, some routes have been added. So I'm accepting all the changes. Let us look at the simple browser. So here I click on the courses. These are the courses. And now how can I inquire? So I click on this, I write my name. So let us test this form. First, click submit inquiry without entering anything. So it is giving me an error message that please complete all fields. Now let's enter some invalid email. For example, let's write Sachin and email also Sachin and select a course. So it is saying that please enter a valid email ID. Now let's test a valid submission. So let's then write the name and submit it. The form should reset after submission. Now we can also test API without the front end. You could use Thunder Client or Postman, or in our case, you could also download this extension, Echo API for VS Code. So that is up to you. So now we are ready to. Now before committing, let us run the lint. So let us stop the code and let's write pnpm lint to check that all the TypeScript things are correct or not. After this, we will run pnpm build. We need to run pnpm build because the development server can hide certain production problems. A successful production build confirms that Next.js can compile the application. When CI/CD is configured, these checks will also run automatically on GitHub. So we have already configured CI/CD. So this will check. So let us stop and run pnpm build just and see if it is building or not. Actually, the system is quite lagging. So let's wait for some time. And for the time being, you can focus on Rex. So it has been built. Now let us see the git diff what all what all code has been changed. The better way is to use the browser for this, the IDE for this. So here we can go and click on this source control source button and click on different files that we have changed and see the changes that have been made. So these files are completely new, and we have made this change in the previous page.tsx, the home page. So let us now commit this. Now what should be the commit message? So we should write a very carefully drafted commit message. So let's write this with a feature colon add course inquiry form, and let us commit it. We must stage before committing and commit it. This commit message communicates that we added a new feature. Now push the branch. So either you can use git push minus u origin. So let's push it by command line only. Git push minus u origin feature slash post inquiry form, because this is a new branch. The minus u option connects the local branch with the remote branch. After this, the future pushes can usually be done using only git push. Now let's open the GitHub repository. The GitHub should display an option to compare and pull request. Let's click there and let's use this title. Add course inquiry form. Confirm that we are creating a pull request to the correct base branch, that is main. This needs to be checked. Let's use this description. It closes the issue number 1. So we need to replace the number 1 with the actual issue number. The phrase close #1 tells GitHub to close the issue automatically when the pull request is merged. Now let's review the pull request. Open the file change tab. Review the code as though it was written by another developer. Ask, are the requirements completed? Is the code understandable? Is API validation present? Are loading and error states handled? Is any secret exposed? Does the feature affect existing pages? Has the developer tested the production build in a team and the developer would normally perform this review? For the demonstration, we can perform a self-review, but we should still explain that approving our own code is not the preferred process in a professional team. So for the demonstration, we will review it ourselves. Check whether GitHub Actions has passed. So once we have reviewed, we also need to check if the GitHub Actions has passed after we have reviewed it. So let's merge it. Merge pull request, confirm merge. Let us now check GitHub Actions. So things are a bit slow, but we need to be patient. So as you can see, a green tick, that means the GitHub action has passed. So it check out, it build application, it installed dependencies, and the job is completed. All checks have passed. When Vercel is connected, it may also create a preview deployment for the pull request. Open the preview URL and test the feature before merging. So let's go to the Vercel and see the deployments. We had already connected this report to the Vercel. So as you can see, 1 minute ago, a deployment has been created, and now we can preview it. Here we can go on the course and submit our details. So it works perfectly fine. Now to demonstrate the review process, suppose we notice that the name input does not have a helpful placeholder. So let's update the code. Let me go back to cursor screen and show you there. So instead of in the form, you will see the placeholder for the name. It is so I don't think I'll put a placeholder. So let's say let me make some artificial error. Let's say the spelling of enquiry is wrong. Okay, and let's make this commit. And let's say fixed. Let's keep the commit as the previous one. So feature add course inquiry form. Let us push it to the branch. And now let's come back to the code and create a PR. So as it is not readily visible, so we go to the feature branch and then click on contribute and open PR. Now let's keep the same title and keep the description as empty and create a PR. Now is the time to review. So I will go to the file changed and now I need to submit the review. So I could write fix the typo in enquiry, submit review, and I can click on request changes. So it is still showing merge. I want to change the I want this change to be done. Then only I can merge. Okay. So I could request change, but I'm author myself, so I cannot request changes on their own pull request. So let me create one more commit fixing a typo. Let me fix this and let me write fix typo. Now let's go back to the Vercel, to the GitHub, and I can see one more change. The PR automatically gets updated when we commit in the same branch. So now I can review the code, go to the file change. So no file has changed, everything is fine. I can simply merge pull request. So this is the process of reviewing the commits. Now I can go to the local main branch, and see the logs. What has happened? So I will do git checkout main and click on and write git logs minus one line. Git log actually. So update GitHub Actions workflow to set. Oh, these are the older log. So I detailed instructions and common mistakes for GitHub. Okay. So actually it is not showing the current logs because I have not pulled it. So I need to do git pull. Now let me do git log minus one line. And now it will show me the latest changes. So merge pull request 3 from course inquiry form. And it contains fixed typo, add course inquiry form, then merge pull request 2 and add course inquiry form. So all the commits are there because things have been merged. This git, I can also write this command to see in a visual manner how things have transitioned. So earlier there was a single branch, then a branch was created, then it was merged, then again it was merged, and finally we have this single branch. Also now we can, as the local feature branch is not required, so I can remove the local feature branch. So let me write git branch minus d feature slash course inquiry form. And now if I say git branch, then only one branch is there. Because the GitHub repository is connected to Vercel, merging into main should start a production deployment automatically. So open the Vercel dashboard, and the deployment will usually move through states such as queued, building, ready. Let's open the Vercel dashboard. Here you can see the deployments. These are the details. These are the build logs. Now let us open the logs. Let us see the build logs of this Vercel. So it builds using npm build. The platform downloads the repository, install dependencies, build the Next.js application, deploy the frontend, and deploy the slash API slash inquiry to a serverless function. So here you can see this has been deployed as a function. Finally, it assigns the production URL. When the status changes to ready, we can open the production URL. So it is already in ready state. So you can open the production URL. Let me copy this and paste it here. So here you can see the complete website. Let's enter a name with an email ID and submit the inquiry, and it has been successfully submitted. So deployment is not always the final step. After releasing a feature, teams monitor it. For this production, check Vercel function logs. So let's go to logs. These are the function logs. So we just sent a request to slash API slash enquiry, and here is the name, email, and course. So our demo only logs the inquiry temporarily. A production ready follow-up issue could be store course inquiries in PostgreSQL. Another issue could be send an email notification for new course inquiries. This demonstrates how one deployed feature often creates the next set of improvements. Now let's discuss some common mistakes. So first is coding directly on mail. Avoid git checkout main followed by writing the complete feature directly. Instead, create a feature branch like git checkout minus b feature slash course inquiry form. Second mistake is treating a vague issue. The title, such as fixed form, does not explain the requirement. The issue should include requirements and acceptance criteria. Third mistake is only validating on the front end. Front end validation can be bypassed. Always validate important data inside the API as well. Fourth mistake is committing everything blindly. Avoid git add dot and then without checking the change file. First run git status, then git diff, and then git add dot and git commit. Fifth mistake is merging without testing. A pull request should not be merged simply because the code looks correct. Run lint, build, and feature tests first. Sixth mistake is assuming deployment means success. A deployment can succeed while the actual feature remains broken. Always test the live URL. Seventh mistake is exposing environment variables. Never commit API keys, passwords, or database credentials. Use .env.local locally and hosting platform environment variables in production. So we learned the complete workflow from idea to code to GitHub to review. So this is the recap. We learned the complete workflow from idea to code to GitHub to review to deployment to bug fix. We learned in day 2 we learned how to open projects, inspect files, use a terminal, and work with AI assistants carefully. We did our cursor ID setup. In day 3 we learned terminal basics. We practiced commands such as cd, ls, mkdir, touch, rm. On day 4 we learned git basics. We learned git init, git status, git add, git commit. On day 5 we learned GitHub basics. We created a repository, connected a remote, and pushed code online. On day 6, we learned about branches and pull requests. We learned why teams use feature branches, pull requests, reviews, and merges. On day 7, we practiced some Git survival commands. We practiced git clone, git pull, git log, git diff, and git restore. The week 2 was about front-end development. So on day 8, we learned that HTML provides structure, CSS provides design, and JavaScript provides interaction. On day 9, we created reusable postcard components using React. On day 10, we used user state, form inputs, click handlers, and conditional rendering. On day 12, we got introduced with the Next.js. We learned pages, layouts, routing, and the app router structure. On day 13 of the front-end week, we understood when pages were, are generated and how rendering affects performance. On day 14, we deployed on Vercel. we connected GitHub to Vercel and deployed a Next.js frontend. And this was the week 2 of the frontend. Then on week 3, we started learning backend and APIs. So on day 15, we understood what is an API. We learned the client server model, requests, responses, JSON and REST basics. On day 16, we created fast API routes. We created /health and /courses endpoints. On day 17, we built a post/enquiry endpoint with validation. On day 18, we learned the Flask basics. We built lightweight Flask routes and compared Flask with Fast API. On day 19, we learned Django basics. We explored Django projects, apps, models, and the admin panel. On day 20, we got introduced with the Next.js. We learned about modules, controllers, and services in a TypeScript backend. On day 21, we integrated frontend with the backend. We connected a Next.js frontend to an API and handled loading, success, and error states. Then came the week 4, where we learned about databases, authentication, and production. On day 22, we learned about SQL and NoSQL. We compared tables and relationships with document-based storage. On day 23, we learned PostgreSQL basics. We learned tables, primary keys, and basic queries like select, insert, update, and delete. On day 24, we learned about ORM. We used models and migrations to interact with the database through application code. On day 25, we understood authentication versus authorization. We understand that authentication means who are you, and authorization means what are you allowed to do. On day 26, we understood basic authentication. We explored sign up, login sessions, GWTs, and password hashing concepts. On day 27, we deployed the backend. We deployed an API, configured environment variables, and tested a production endpoint. On day 28, we understood serverless functions. We created a small backend function inside a Next.js project and deployed it on Vercel. On day 29, we understood CI/CD with GitHub Actions. We created automated checks that run when code is pushed. Finally, on day 30, we combined everything: requirement to GitHub issues, then feature branch, then React form, then API route, then validation, then local testing, then Git commit, then pull request, then code review, then CI checks, then merging, then production deployment, then live testing and monitoring. During these 30 days, we did not only learn how to write code, we learned how software is actually developed and delivered. A real developer must be able to understand a requirement, navigate a code base, create a branch, build a front end, connect it to an API, validate data, work with databases, use authentication, push code, open a pull request, respond to feedback, deploy the application, and debug production problems. You do not need to remember every command immediately. What matters is that you now understand the complete workflow and know how the individual skills connect. Your next step is to repeat this workflow into with another small feature. For example, save inquiries in PostgreSQL. Add an admin inquiries page. So you can try these things out. Try these out. Send a confirmation mail. Protect the admin page using authentication. Add automated test to CI. The more times you take a feature from an issue to a live production URL, the more job ready you become. This completes our 30-day real software development skills sprint. Now, the clear challenge for today is add one improvement to the enquiry feature, that is, store every valid course inquiry in a database. Then complete the entire workflow, that is, from create issue to test the live application. Finally, submit these things. GitHub issue link, PR link, production URL, screenshot of a successful inquiry, and one sentence describing what you learned.